Welcome to episode 112 of our Family Travel Australia series. We've made it to Broome, tropical delight of Australia's northwest and gateway to the spectacular West Kimberleys. A multicultural melting pot with an incredibly rich cultural history, Broome is famous for its unique landscapes and spectacular colours of nature. We immerse ourselves in the fascinating history of the pearling industry, discover 130 million year old dinosaur footprints, relax in ocean rock pools, and take in an incredible sunset on world famous Cable Beach. From our favourite foodie recommendations to family friendly experiences and nature based locations, get ready to discover Broome in this special episode. Be sure to subscribe and join us for all of the adventure.
Living full-time in a caravan, when it comes to birthdays, it's always interesting to decide what we're going to buy that one doesn't weigh much, is actually going to have a good use and be used, and we feel that it's actually going to add value to our lifestyle and where we're going and where we're traveling. So when Katie asked me what I'd like for my recently celebrated 21st birthday, I knew exactly what I wanted. I'd had this picture before we left home that I would be pulling up to these incredible locations, tying up a hammock and swinging in the breeze with a drink in hand. Well, to be honest, that hasn't actually happened, and mostly because the thing that's been missing is a hammock. And so when I mentioned that I wanted a hammock, she was out there doing some really good research and found this amazing product called Nakie. An incredible story about a nurse up in Broome in Queensland, our home state, that saw an idea that she could improve hammocks using 100% recycled materials and created this business, which is truly awesome. What I love about these is that not only are they made from 100% recycled materials, the actual packs are so lightweight. This is the hammock. It weighs less than a kilo. It has been made from 37 post-consumer bottles. There is also a bug net that will keep out the smallest of bugs. It has been made from 25 post-consumer bottles, and for every purchase of any of their products, they plant 4 trees in Madagascar. So the story just gets better the more you look into this business and what they do. We aren't affiliated with them, however we reached out to them after I've fallen in love with my birthday gift over the last 2 months, and they've given us an affiliate code that gets us a 10% discount. So if you're looking for something to feel like you're either on holiday or take away with you on holiday, we can definitely tell you that this is an amazing product. You can check it out on our website, all the W's, thefeelgoodfamily.com.au. Happy swinging in your hammock. What are you doing?
Comfortable?
discover Broome. Haven't we certainly done that? There is so much to see and do here, and we're going to be sharing with you everything that you need to know before you go or return to this spectacular coastline.
Oh, it is unmistakable. This is the only region in Australia where you will find that incredible clash of colours. The nature here is amazing. Those red Pindon cliffs that rise up out of the incredibly white sandy beaches against those turquoise waters of the Indian Ocean, the Timor Sea. It is absolutely stunning.
Totally wow. Okay, of course what you'll expect, Cable Beach, and one of those unforgettable WA sunsets.
Yes, we're also checking out the foodie scene with its multicultural population. The food here is amazing.
We're also going to be sharing not only the family-friendly experiences, but even if you're a solo traveller, you will love these experiences.
Plus, all of the history, not only the incredible pearling history, but the cultural history that has taken place here for thousands and thousands of years, plus some hidden, or maybe not so hidden gems as well.
Okay, this place is seriously unique, and we're going to be sharing some of those quirky facts that make this a place to not only visit, possibly stay longer than you expected, and with plenty of people that we've met that have decided to never leave. All right, grab yourself a drink. Here we go. We've decided to base ourselves here at the Broome Caravan Park. It's located only 5 minutes out of the centre of town. It's only 5 or 10 minutes to all of the beaches and the main attractions. So really a great location, and there were some really good reasons why we actually chose this over some of the beachside caravan parks that you can stay at.
The main one was the reviews we received from other travellers and also reading online. There are standout reviews for this caravan park, namely around the size of the sites. They are very big, so you don't feel like you're crammed in on top of your neighbours, and they are also very shady.
I think that's it. You know, looking at some of the other parks, there is this common thread that says, you feel like you're packed in like sardines, and we've certainly experienced that in some seaside locations. You know, get more people in, obviously. So the space here is a winner.
Yeah, and they are so family friendly as well, with loads of families still in the park, and having that space on the sites means that the kids can really enjoy themselves without upsetting the neighbours.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, there are also some very large sites for larger rigs. There must be a half a dozen travelling buses here at the moment, all
cool,
towing other vehicles as well. So plenty of room for oversized or larger rigs. And if you're looking for somewhere to store your van or your vehicle or whatever it is, you can do that here as well. We've just spent 5 days off up at Cynett Bay. Wait till you see that episode next week. And we were able to leave our van here, know that it was safe and secure and looked after.
Yeah, totally. Okay, the other standout feature of this caravan park is the pool. It is more like a resort style pool. It is absolutely awesome. They even have a lap lane, so you can get up and do your exercise if you're that way inclined.
Certainly hasn't happened in this family. The amenities are all fantastic. While we've been staying here, upgraded all of the bathrooms.
Yes, and there are so many different amenities blocks because the park is so large, and I imagine in peak season would be absolutely pumping full of vans. There are a number of different amenities blocks and also a number of different dump points as well.
Yeah, it's the first time we've seen multiple dump sites, but again, it is a very large park. The reception area is also really great because the staff are super friendly, can't do enough to help you. They also provide here rakes and bins for you to do your own bit of gardening around and looking after your site, which I think is very cool. We haven't seen that before.
Jasper and I have loved that, raking up the leaves each afternoon.
So really this is just a fantastic base with lots of space to be able to get out and explore this incredible region.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay, let's talk about what we did when we first arrived. We unhitched and we went straight to the Visitor Information Centre. We talk about this all the time. If there is a Vic in your region that you're visiting, go there first. It's always the place that you're going to get all the information. You're going to get some local goss. They love to have a chat. It's normally manned by a lot of really passionate local volunteers, so you're really going to find out where to go, what to do, what to see and how to do it.
Yes, and you can pick up, you know, the local town maps or the brochures that showcase the best of the region, and I really love that too, being able to see all of those things that we may not necessarily even know exist.
Yeah, this particular Visitor Information Centre is the largest that we have seen in a region to date. So that really just, I guess, talks to the amount of offering as far as tourism products, experiences, accommodation offers, you know, I mean, bucket list experiences that you can do from the Broome region.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
One of the local experiences, which is really quite quirky and unique, is the Broome Tramway. And Jasper and I decided to grab our tickets and go and do that. There's a couple of different tours. We chose the family-friendly Broome Explorer Tour. It's only 20 minutes long and it gives you a really good lay of the land and a taste of history, which is fully underscored with commentary that's played back during your journey around the local area.
This is the coolest tramway because it's on rubber tires. Check it out. It's on rubber tires. And it's off the railway.
Wow, hey?
Wow, she's amazing.
It's $20 for adults, which I think is a little bit steep, to be honest. And it's $7 for kids, which is fantastic, especially if you've got a train enthusiast. So my arm was twisted and we couldn't say no, but we had a really great time chugging around town and checking out the local area, and it also helped us to decide where we were going to head for lunch.
Which was to Matso's, a local's favourite, and it is steeped in history here in Broome. It is referred to as the most remote microbrewery in Australia, and I am partial to their awesome alcoholic ginger beer, which can be found Australia-wide now. It is such a great success story, a family-owned and operated business, and they do have a restaurant on site. So a great place to go for lunch and look out again over those incredible aqua turquoise waters of the ocean.
They also do in-house only brews, so if you're going to head over there, make sure that you do make a booking, particularly if you're going for dinner. That way you can really enjoy the environment of this historic little brewery. Okay, the other place that we would recommend is Zander's on Cable Beach. Fantastic location, no booking required. You can rock up there any time of the afternoon. I think they serve meals or food from 2 p.m. till late. And they're also famous for their cocktail shakers.
Yes. The meals were fantastic and the views are even better with those gorgeous coastal breezes that really helped make the temperature cool down. And I loved that it had a really relaxed coastal vibe, even though the restaurant has quite an upmarket feel to it. Next door is a playground, which Jasper absolutely loved, getting out there and having a play. A really awesome spot.
Yeah, it's also above the only patrolled beach along this region as well. So it is just a wonderful location to kick back and while away the afternoon. All right, best family experience for us was Sun Pictures, known as the oldest picture garden theatre in the world, built in 1903. This place is truly a classic historical building, and that they're still operating, showing movies every night of the week in an open air cinema style complex is awesome and a must do.
Oh, I loved this. In fact, we all loved this experience, and we got to see a new Australian film, Buckley's Chance, which was family friendly. There's this great lawn area that the kids all migrated to and laid down under the stars to watch the film, and the old school style cinema deck chairs were just fantastic. There is a fully licensed bar there, so you can purchase a beverage, of course, popcorn and all of your movie favourites. And the prices were really reasonable. We booked online, and for such a unique experience, this is definitely a must-do when you are in Broome.
Yes, and you know what was so unique is that it's located just around the corner from the airport. And so you're watching the screen and then all of a sudden an old plane flies right overhead. So it really did add to the atmosphere. It did get fairly busy. We arrived about an hour before the start of the film, which was really great because there's trailers, there's lots of tourism videos, and again with that lawn for the kids to run around and play on. Just fantastic. Kick back, couple of wines. We loved it. Now, Sun Pictures is located in the heart of Chinatown, which is famously known for its boutique shopping.
Yes, and has such a rich history. This is literally the site where the Chinese set up their camps in the late 1800s with their tents and their corrugated tin sheds. And you can still see a lot of that today, although they have undertaken a massive revitalisation, and there are plenty of boutiques and cafes and restaurants to explore here as well.
If you're after a little bit of pearl shopping that they're so famous for, there is plenty on offer. We went and checked out the Cynett Bay Pearl Farm shop. This place is really more like a museum.
Yes, there is so much on offer here, aside from the stunning showroom showcasing these beautiful pearls and pieces of jewellery. They do have an area that is very interactive and hands-on, where you can learn all of the history of the Cynett Bay Pearl Farm. You can even watch a live pearl harvest, which is a great option if you can't get up to the farm on the Dampier Peninsula. You can also view the largest cultivated pearl ever recorded in the world. It is absolutely magnificent and valued at over $2 million.
Wow.
And Jasper got to get hands-on and try on one of the old style diving helmets. So lots of fun to be had here, as well as a little bit of shopping if you're that way inclined.
Yes, if you've got your credit card on you. What is so fantastic about this is the experience that is actually out at Cynett Bay and the Pearl Farm. And we've just gotten back from 5 days out there exploring the Dampier Peninsula, enjoying this location and having one of the most incredible experiences that we have done on the road to date. So stay tuned for next week's episode when we share this spectacular location and some stunning aerial footage as well.
Oh, just so beautiful. I've really loved learning about the history of Broome, particularly with the pearling industry. It's famously known as being built off the back of a button, providing that beautiful mother of pearl shell for the button industry up until the 1950s, actually, when plastic was introduced. There is a darker side to the industry that you can learn about while you're here, particularly in regards to the slavery of Aboriginal women, mostly pregnant women, who were believed to have greater lung capacity, and so they were forced to dive for these pearls. And there is now a beautiful sculpture that pays tribute to these women and all the women associated with the pearling industry here in Broome on the main esplanade, not too far from Matso's. That is definitely worth stopping and checking out.
The other part of the industry that is fairly well documented is the Japanese involvement and how they also completely changed the industry to being able to cultivate the pearl through the works of the famous Mikimoto. we decided to go and check out the Japanese cemetery. There are a number of cemeteries worth having a look at while you're in town, but for the storytelling around the Japanese, visit the Japanese cemetery, and you can see there's over 900 people that have lost their life through the pearling industry or associated to pearling throughout time. Quite an amazing place to visit to learn more about this story of pearling here in Broome. A lot of the experiences that you can do here in and around Broome depend on the tides. They have the largest tropical tides in the world in the Kimberley region, and so getting onto the beaches and checking out some of the locations really depends on the moon.
Yes.
Which is very cool. One of those areas is Gantheaume Point, to go and visit the lighthouse and find and uncover some ancient dinosaur prints that are believed to be here for 130 million years.
This was an absolute highlight for me, and I loved everything about this experience. And again, those deep colours of nature are just incredible here at Gantheaume Point. Before we got down to try and discover those dinosaur footprints, we actually found this amazing rock pool that Jasper was in before we could even say don't get wet, and he blobbed around for about an hour while we just sat and took in the tranquility and this beautiful view. It's amazing, and it really puts it into perspective just how large these tides are when you're finding rock pools up on these cliff edges so far above the waterline.
9-10 metres above the waterline. Truly amazing. A good tip from us is to go and get yourself some reef shoes or reef boots. That is actually what we had to do. We were tipped off before we arrived. A lot of these experiences around the coastline, there are some fairly sharp rock edges, and so particularly for the kids, get some booties. You'll be very thankful you did.
Yeah, absolutely. And that did allow us to then clamber our way down over the rocks, right down to where the waterline was, to search for these 130 million year old dinosaur footprints. And we found one. We
found one, that's right. Now, I'm sure this was not a one-legged dinosaur, as what I told Jasper, named Hoppy. There are many others, and depending again on the tide, depending on the weather, whether there's been a cyclone, this changes all the time. You can actually find locations through Google Earth, and some people have documented those. And thankfully, we saw some other families down there who said, here it is. And so we were able to actually discover one for ourselves.
Yeah, look, something fantastic that the Visitor Information Centre does is print out a month-by-month tide chart that features many of these experiences that you can see and do on the low and high tides. So that is definitely worth picking up. I think next time we come back to Broome, we will get ourselves on one of the tours that actually take you out to discover these dinosaur footprints so we can see more than one.
Yep, great idea. Hey there, my little paleontologist.
Hi.
Did you have any luck? Did you find or discover and uncover a dinosaur footprint?
We found one over there on that rock.
Maybe it was a one-legged dinosaur. Let's call him Limpy or Hoppy, a hopping mad dinosaur.
We got one here. happy dinosaur.
Okay, our next stop is really the iconic and most visited location here, and that is Cable Beach. Truly a wow location.
It really is. I mean, it's 22 kilometres of absolute pristine beach, famously named from when they laid the cable between Australia and Java back in the 1800s. What an awesome experience to be able to get down on the beach in your four-wheel drive and take in, as you said, Paul, that famous Western Australian sunset.
One thing to note is that you don't actually have to change your tyre pressure, or certainly not when we were down there. We saw plenty of two-wheel drive vehicles, plenty of rental vehicles, vans, you name it. We saw motorhomes. People were going down there in all sorts of vehicles. Now, we're not recommending that, but it was very easy to access. We drove for about 3 or 4 kilometres, found ourselves a wide open spot, set ourselves up. It's a perfect place to sit and watch that sunset and the endless lines of camels that are coming through on one of the most famous and most popular experiences, the camel tour down on Cable Beach. Truly a memorable experience that will stay with us all forever.
I've been waiting all my life for someone like you, like you. I would watch the days go by, wasted in blue. I was out of use. Now every day, every night, every moment with you, I'm walking on air. And every day, every way, I feel I can't lose. I wanna shout it out, ain't no limit. I wanna shout it out to the world. You got me all worked up, got me spinning. I'm crazy for love, crazy for love, crazy for love, crazy for love. Crazy for love.
Okay, before we leave Broome, we've got to share some of these quirky facts that make this place not only unique, but keep people coming back time and time again, make people extend their stay, and for a lot of people we've met, choose to never leave. All right, our favourite is that there are no traffic lights in Broome.
Yes, so awesome if you've come from the city or you live in a metropolitan area to come somewhere and not have any traffic lights to contend with.
My dad would absolutely love it here.
Yes, he would. There's also no letterboxes, so the 16,000 residents who call Broome home collect their mail from 5 post offices that are located across town.
When they have a wet season here, it's actually a torrential downpour. It's not like extended periods of rain, so they've removed all the gutters so that they can cope better with the rain when it comes.
There you go. And there is also something called Broome time, which the locals refer to, and it really does describe the very relaxed, chilled vibe of this region. When you come here, you definitely slip into Broome time.
Tropical vibes. You know, the most outstanding thing, and the thing that I think is why this is such an amazing tourism hub, is the natural assets. They're so accessible and free.
And we just really love that.
It's so fantastic. Okay, before we leave you here in Broome, we got to explore another local area known as Coconut Well. What a unique experience. We're going to leave you with that footage, but for now, thanks so much for watching. We can't wait to see you next week. Look after yourself, look after your family.
And happy trails.
Good morning. All right, another perfect day here in Broome. We are heading about 20 kilometres north to a locals' secret getaway. It's not that secret anymore though.
No,
we're
so
told.
we've read, yeah.
Apparently there's like families on YouTube telling other people about it and stuff. Yeah, so where are we going?
It's called Coconut Well. Some people refer to it as Coconut Wells. Little community about 20 minutes north, and basically what happens there after a high tide, I think it's got to be like 9+ meter high tide, this natural forming lagoon is created, and also a series of what looks incredible rock pools that some are big enough to go and swim in, and others you can just go and check out the sea life. And anyway, the footage and the images that we have seen, it looks spectacular. So those Broome colours, of course, with that aqua turquoise
Magic.
water.
Yeah. All right, hopefully we can get you some good shots as well.
Oh yeah.
Yep, see some fish. Try and catch a crab or two, shouldn't we?
I bought Jasper's goggles so that he can see what he can find.
Let's go do it. Our last day here in Broome before we head off to. So it's a good way to wrap things up, really, isn't it? All right, let's do it.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, Jasper, take 2 on Coconut Well. It's the following day. It is 6 a.m. It's 21 degrees. Going to be a top of 37 degrees in Broome today. We're halfway through the turn of the tide. So high tide was at 3 a.m. and low is around 9:15. So we are hoping for more water because yesterday it was bone dry.
No water.
No.
We were on the very, very low tide yesterday though, so.
That's right, and although we have read lots of blogs and looked at other clips, we either missed or we don't think it's very clear that you can't go at the very low tide. Well, that was our experience anyway, so let's hope we're not doing a take 3 tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I know.
But we have decided to stay longer in Broome for a few extra days because we're just loving this coastal vibe, and we've got something kind of unique and special coming up on Saturday night.
Yeah. Bit of fun before we go.
We won't do a spoiler alert, will we, Jasper?
No.
All right, here we go. Coconut Well, take 2. And now here's a sneak peek of next week's episode. Thanks for watching. Please do like, subscribe and share our channel. And if you'd like more information on full-time RV travel and living, visit our website, thefeelgoodfamily.com.au. There you'll find loads of free resources, our weekly podcast, caravan cooking recipes, our monthly Go RV magazine articles and much more. We look forward to seeing you next week. Take care of yourself and your family and happy trails. Have you been drinking?
Yeah. He's going to check us. No, I have not been drinking, which is...
We're about to find out.
Hi guys! Welcome back
Jasper.
to Jasper's Great Adventures. And where are we, Dad?
We are at a great seaside location on Western Australia called Broome.
Yes! And you might notice I am 5. Thank you for all my birthday messages.
And enter child.
It's like the most beautiful little window.
I'm the king of the world! Ooh!
Ow!
Thank you. Right, that's the last you see of that.
That's what happens when we give money to Mum, isn't it? Same thing, it just disappears.
Yeah, it just disappears.
Well, I better give it back because I'm on camera.